What's happening everyone, my name is Alex and welcome back. In today's video we are checking out the latest dash camera from 70mai called the 70mai Omni. Now this is also one of the most unique dash cameras that I got to try up until now, and that has a lot to do with the fact the camera can do 360-degree recordings. But before we get into the video, let me explain what those 360-degree recordings means. So when you have a 360-degree camera, you typically have a lens on the front and the lens on the back. This right here is a 360-degree camera, so this one records all around it at all times. Well, the Omni is not a 360-degree camera because we only have a lens on the front. So it can film to the left, it can film in front of it, it can film to the right and behind it. That is very beneficial if you're using the parking monitor from the Omni here. So the Omni will sense any car that comes by your vehicle. So let's say that there is a car coming from the left here. The camera will sense that and it will start tracking this vehicle here. And since it can rotate, it can follow that car around. So let's say the car will park to the right of your vehicle, well, the camera will spin and record that car parking to the right of your vehicle. So basically 360-degree protection whenever you're using the parking monitor. Now that parking monitor feature only works if you buy the hardwiring kit for the camera and you basically hardwire the camera to your car's battery. If you just use the cable that comes in the box, the camera will turn off every time you turn off your vehicle. So if you want to take advantage of the parking monitor, you do have to hardwire the camera to your car's battery. Personally, I haven't done it, so I'm just letting you know what you need to do if you want to take advantage of that feature. Okay, so to make it easier and quicker for those of you that are just interested in the video quality, the daytime sample recordings start at this minute of the video, and then the nighttime sample recordings start at this minute of the video. And next we're gonna do a bit of an unboxing just so I can show you what comes in the box with the camera. Alright, so we get a pretty small box, and inside the box you're obviously gonna find the camera itself. We also have a pretty long USB-A to a USB-C cable. This is basically the cable that will power up the camera. And then we get this cigarette lighter adapter here. So you plug that cable into this and then you have the second USB port if you want to charge your cell phone, just to give you an example. And then we have two of these electrostatic stickers. So you basically mount one of these on your windshield and then you put a sticker from the camera on that electrostatic sticker. So very simple to install. It only takes like 2 minutes to get this installed. We also get the user manual in the box. We have a replacement sticker. So let's say that you change cars, you can basically put this new sticker on that mount and change the camera to the new vehicle. And then we have this little tool. The camera itself also looks very different than most other dash cameras available on the market. So starting at the top here we have the mount, or we have that sticker that sits on the windshield. You can also detach the camera from that. And this is also adjustable. So depending how your windshield is, you can adjust this so you can get the best viewing angle. Then we have a couple of buttons on the side here, and then we have the lens, and as I mentioned earlier, the lens can rotate. And at the bottom of the camera we have the holes for the speaker, and I'm assuming the hole for the microphone. So the camera can also take voice commands, so you don't necessarily have to use those buttons at any point. You can just tell the camera some voice commands. So for example, you can say shoot left, shoot right, shoot inside, or shoot vlog. These are just some examples. Shoot vlog.
Get ready to say hi to the camera.
And getting back to our camera, on the back there we have a little screen. So basically whenever the camera is mounted in your car, you can see that little screen, and just above that little screen we probably have a hole for a microphone. So maybe the microphone is not at the bottom, maybe the microphone is just above the screen there. So that's about it for the camera, very simple. Now the camera itself has a 32 gig memory. So you don't actually install an SD card inside this camera. Everything is recorded and saved inside the camera itself. So there is no SD card slot. So whenever the camera will fill up all the 32 gigs of memory that it has, it will start overriding the oldest recordings, of course. Alright, so now that you have a better understanding of how this camera works, I think it's time to show you some sample daytime recordings that I've done with this camera. So the maximum recording resolution for the Omni is 1080p at 60 frames per second, but you can also select 1080p at 30 frames per second. Personally, I've been recording in 1080p at 30 frames per second, so everything that you're gonna be seeing as sample recordings are done in 1080p at 30 frames per second. So first, let's start by checking out the daytime sample recordings, then I'll come back and then we'll see the nighttime sample recordings. So personally, I was quite impressed by the video quality that we get from those 1080p at 30 frames per second recordings from the Omni during the day. I feel that those recordings are actually crispier than a lot of other dash cameras that I got to try in the past that are recording in 2K. So really good and crispy footage from the Omni. So you can definitely see those license plates for the cars around you, but it also depends how far those cars are from you, of course. But overall, really good video quality from this. And of course, as you know, you can record to the left, you can record to the right, and you can even record inside. So great video quality for daytime recordings. And next we're gonna move on and check out some nighttime sample recordings that I've done with the Omni. Craziness before.
Oh, I think it's just because it's fall now. People were at the beach. I wish it would just stay this temperature, to be honest.
Yeah. Now, of course, those nighttime recordings aren't gonna be as good as the daytime recordings, but I was quite impressed by the video quality that we get from the Omni for low light recordings, basically, because in some of those recordings it was pitch black, but you can still see pretty well around the vehicle. So quite impressed by the video quality that we get from the Omni. Okay, so next we are gonna move on and check out the 70mai app. So basically the app that works with the Omni. Well, the app for this camera is one of the most unique apps that I've seen for any dash camera up until now, and it probably has the most functionality that I've seen for any dash camera up until now. Because with most dash cameras I never open the app because it's just super boring. Well, that's not the case for this one. So of course we have the part where you can change settings, you can change a lot of things about the camera. But then we have our timeline. So basically all the recordings that you can access from the camera. Of course, the camera makes a Wi-Fi network and you connect to that Wi-Fi network with your smartphone through that 70mai app. So when you check out the footage, you can see a timeline. So for every day that the camera was used, you can basically see a timeline. You can move with your finger on that timeline and you can see the recordings for a particular hour or anything like that. In those recordings, of course, you have the GPS coordinates and the speed at all times. So of course, the camera has a GPS unit inside it. Now, if there is a particular recording that you want from there, you can easily download it. Of course, it takes a few seconds to download a recording depending how long the recording is, but you can easily download all or any of those recordings right on your smartphone. In the timeline there, you also have different colors for different events. So for example, let's say that you're filming one of those vlogs. So you would film that if you're in a super cool location and you basically want to show someone wherever you are, you want to post it on Instagram or something like that. So you can see the colors for each event on the timeline. And once again, you can just download that particular part of the recording on your smartphone. Whenever you're watching those recordings, you can also have a very cool overlay on top of those recordings. So it shows you the speed, it shows you the G-forces in that particular time. So very user-friendly and social media inclined app, I'm gonna say, because from the app you can easily share those recordings pretty much anywhere with a few clicks. So there you have it, one of the most unique dash cameras that I got to try up until now, which is the 70mai Omni. Alright guys, thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.